any thoughts on how consumer behaviour will be affected long term by the current recession?
I think people are suggesting that consumer behaviour would have changed indefinitely. Like, this has been such a shock to the system that people are actually now going to do things in a different way. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. I think, like everything, there will be a trend away from big ticket items, luxury, indulgence, all that kind of thing, to a bit more sort of inward, perhaps slightly better value. Am I really going to get the value out of this product? Do I need to buy two of those when I need to buy one? I think, we're all sort of sensing that perhaps things ran ahead of ourselves before. So I think that's here, but I think, like most things, it's probably a trend. Now, what we don't know is how long the trend will last, and I think that's a bit dictated by how long the economic climate is going to be. But already people are starting to talk about things are on the sort of road to recovery. So actually, it hasn't been that long. So if we were only sort of in this space for let's say 12 to 18 months, well, that's not very long. So to that ingrain in people to change their consumer habits going forward, I'm not so sure.
Do you believe marketing skills need to change, and if so, to what degree?
Absolutely, fundamentally. I think there are lots of things changing about consumer behaviour, especially when it comes to their relationship with companies. And things like the internet are making everything just very, very transparent. And how can a company explain to their customer why the same product is £4 more expensive at their company than it is at somebody else's company? That's really just starting to sort of flush out now. So behind that is a layer of, well, actually, businesses that try to charge customers £4 more than somebody else really need to be stand up and be counted, because they're clearly doing it for a profitable reason as opposed to what's best for customers. So the internet is going to be a lovely leveller for all businesses, and I think it will be survival of the strong models and survival of companies that are willing to embrace their customers and just be open and honest with them. And if that's the new relationship, well, then it's a much more open dialogue. Again, websites enable a dialogue to happen between a company and a customer. How many times have we heard retailers over the years saying, yes, we have all these customers coming to our shops, but I don't know any of them. I don't know who they are, I don't know where they live, I don't know what they do. So again, the internet is enabling this much more sort of one-on-one relationship. And if you take that forward, then in that one-on-one relationship, it's all built on trust and honesty. If you're not open and honest, then I think you will fail in the long run.
What do you think categorises the strongest brands these days?
I think it's all about real tangible benefit to customers, and benefit can be practical and value. Am I really getting what I want, and am I having to pay more than I perceive the value to be of it? And if you tick the I'm really giving something good and it's good value, now value can be a premium price or a low price, it's good value in the minds of the customer, then I think you will win. I think if your product is slightly substandard, or the value you're charging for it is slightly questionable, be it in relative terms to whatever else is in the space, then I think you will struggle a bit.
And lastly, how do you intend to keep your brand strong for the next 50 years? Really, for the next few years?
Well, in the world of the internet, I think nobody really knows how it's going to play out. I think it's still so immature relative to the physical high street, which, let's face it, has been evolving for hundreds of years. I think you need to look, rather than the individual businesses, you need to look at the consumer behaviour on the internet. And we need to start to understand that actually shopping an internet site, you don't get the same feelings and emotions as you do to shopping a physical site. And actually, the person that tells me that they really enjoy shopping lots of different sites on the internet, that would be a first. I've never heard that. Everybody says, actually, yes, I have my favourite shops, but shopping a whole vast variety of them isn't something they enjoy doing. So I think you need to understand the consumer behaviour first, and if that is that they will shop a fewer number of bigger sites, well, then that's got to be the business strategy. So that's what Asos is all about. It's saying, okay, well, can we take a corner of the market, and that corner is young, fast fashion, What would the perfect store look like in that space? Well, it's going to be one where we're absolutely guiding them through the fashion space in terms of this kind of edited choice. What should they be wearing? What's the hot trend? Looking at the different price points. Yes, you can pay a bit more for that, but actually, if you've seen this one, which is similar design but a bit cheaper, absolutely giving it back. Keeping it really, really fresh, because the whole thing about nowadays is sort of newness. It's always been in fashion, but the internet's taken that to a whole new level. At Asos, we're putting about 1,000 new products a week onto the site, and that will just increase as new formal brands come on board. Giving them the best experience we possibly can, so giving them what they order when they order it, and exceeding expectation as opposed to under exceeding expectation, and just trying to do all things right in an open, honest way. We admit that sometimes we will get it wrong, but as long as we put our hands up and try and fix it as quickly as we can, well, that puts us in quite a good place. So as long as there's a lot of boxes to tick, but if we keep ticking those boxes, and again, a bit like a magazine world, if you keep it fresh, keep it relevant, keep it topical, then you should endure.